We'll guide you through CapCut for beginners. If you find this useful, then consider subscribing and liking the video. Now we're handing the video over to Pausa, who's going to continue.
Now the first thing that you need to do is install CapCut. So just go ahead and open any browser to your liking, and then in the search bar just go ahead and search for CapCut and hit enter. Now just go ahead and go to CapCut desktop, and after that just go ahead and click on download for free, and now your setup.exe file will be downloaded. So just go ahead and open your file explorer and then navigate to the downloads folder, and here you will see CapCut installer. Just go ahead and double click on it to run the setup wizard. Now here just wait for it to complete, and once finished it will automatically test your environment. So just wait for it to complete. After that you can see now your computer can run smoothly. So after that just click on confirm. Once CapCut is opened, you will land in this interface. Now let's start by creating a new project. You can just go ahead and click on plus icon at the top to create a new project. So just go ahead and click on it, and now your project will be successfully opened. Before we start importing any footage, it's worth taking a moment to understand the layout. On the left hand side of the screen you have media panel. This is the area where all of your imported footages, photo and audio file and all the other asset will live. Let's just know that this is your library, and everything you bring into your project will appear here before it goes into your timeline. Moving forward towards the center of the screen you have player. This is your preview window. Anything that you do in the timeline will be reflected here in real time, so you can see exactly how your video looks at any point during the editing process. This is where you will be watching your footage, checking your transition, reviewing text and making sure everything looks exactly the way you want before you can export. On the right hand side of the screen you have the details panel. This panel shows you the information about your current project, including the project name, the aspect ratio, resolution and other settings. If you click on the modify button at the details, you will be taken to a screen where you can change all of these settings at any time. You can rename the project by just changing the name, change the aspect ratio to suit different platform, adjust resolution, change the frame rate and modify color space. For this tutorial we will leave everything at default and click on cancel to go back. Finally, at the bottom of the screen you have the timeline. This is where all the actual editing takes place. Every clip, audio file, caption and text element that you add in your project will appear in the timeline as a layer, and you will arrange, trim and adjust everything from here. Now that the interface makes sense, let's bring in some footage. To import your clip, just go ahead and click on the plus icon for the media pool. Now navigate to the folder where you have your footages that you want to edit. So in my case it's inside this particular folder, so I'll just go ahead and go inside the folder, and here you can import multiple files at once. To do that, just go ahead and left click and drag to select all, or you can also press Ctrl key and hold the Ctrl key and select all the footages that you want to add. After that you can just go ahead and click on open, and now you can see all the footages have been successfully added in our media pool. Now we need to add our clips from media pool to the timeline. So there are two ways to add clips from the media pool. Now the first way is to hover your mouse over a clip in the media panel. So just go ahead and hover over a clip and you will see a small plus icon appear just like so. You can just go ahead and click on the plus icon to add your video directly into the timeline. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and select this particular video and press the delete key to delete it. And now the second way is by just left clicking it and dragging it and dropping it just like so. Both methods work well, but dragging gives you more precise control over exact where in the timeline the clip lands. Just go ahead and add all of your clips into the timeline. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add my clips into the timeline just like so. And now if you see your timeline getting cluttered, you can use this zoom icon. You can just go ahead and zoom out by just clicking on the minus icon, and now you can add your remaining clips. Now that our clip has been successfully added, let's talk about trimming. Trimming is the process of cutting down your clips to remove the part that you don't want. CapCut gives you several different ways to trim. The first method is splitting. Your timeline has a playhead, which is a thin vertical white line, and that indicates your current position in the video. As you drag the playhead forward just like so, the player in the central updates in real time to show you exactly what frame you are on. Use the playhead to find the exact point in the clip where you want to make a cut. So let's say I want to make a cut in this particular point, and once you have found the point, look at the split button at the top of the timeline. You will see this is the particular split. So just go ahead and hover over it, and you will also see the shortcut keybind associated with it. So in my case it's going to be B. So just go ahead and click on split, and now your video will be splitted into two parts. Once the clip is split, you can click on the portion that you want to remove. So let's say I want to remove this particular portion. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select it by left clicking, and then you can just go ahead and press the delete or backspace key on your keyboard to delete that part of the video. And the second method is by dragging the edges of the clip. So I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom in. So let's say I want to remove the front part of the clip. So just go ahead and hover over the front part of the clip or the portion where you want to delete, and then you will notice your cursor change. So basically just go ahead and left click and drag it to the side where you want to delete. So let's say I want to delete the left portion, right? So just drag your mouse over to the right side, and now you should see your clip is getting shorter. So now when I leave my mouse, you will see the clip has been successfully shortened. The third method is using the shortcut. So before that, we have to set our shortcut. Just go to the top right corner, and then you will see this icon. Just go ahead and click on it, and this will open up the shortcut. And now you will see the split is B. So when I press the B key on my keyboard, the file will be splitted in the current playhead position. So in my case, it's going to be B. You can also change it, and once you have found your shortcut key, you can just go ahead and close this. And after that, now when I press the B key on my keyboard, you will see now the video has been successfully splitted into the two parts. Now you can just delete the part that you don't want by pressing the delete key on your keyboard, and you can also press Ctrl Z if you make any mistakes, so you can redo them. Now beyond the split button, the timeline toolbar contains several other options that are worth understanding. Starting from the left, you have undo and redo, which works exactly as expected. Next to those are split, delete left, and delete right. And then you have the delete button, and here you also have a marker. Clicking this places a visual marker on the timeline at the current playhead position, and you can see if I want to add a marker at this particular position, I can just click on the marker to add a marker, and you will see it will be successfully added. So if I want to add the marker in the video, I can just select the video or the image and click on add a marker, and the marker will be added in the video. Markers are useful when you are going through footage and want to flag specific moments to come back and edit later. Next to the marker tool, you will see a icon. So when you hover over it, you will see many options. You will see freeze, reverse, mirror, and rotate. So basically, when you have your clip selected and when you hover over it and click on freeze frame, CapCut will take whatever frame is at your playhead position and create a still image from it, inserting that still directly into your clip. This is useful when you want your moment in your video to pause on specific image before the footage continue. Next to that, you have reverse. Clicking this with the clip selected will play that clip backward. You have mirror. So basically, mirror flips your clip horizontally. If your footage was captured from a direction that does not work visually, mirroring can correct it without needing to re-record anything. So let's say I want to mirror this particular footage, so I'll just select it and then just click on mirror, and you will see it will be successfully mirrored. And you also have the rotate button, which rotates the clips in fixed increment. Finally, you also have crop tool. So when you click on crop tool, it will allow you to manually define exactly which portion of clip frame remain visible, letting you cut out edges if needed. So if I want to crop my footage, I can just drag the handles just like so, and the footage will be successfully cropped. After that, and you also have a drop down for crop where you can directly choose any orientation. Let's say I want to go with 9:16, I can just select it and it will be successfully set to vertical, and you can even move it anywhere to your liking. I'm just gonna go ahead and go with 16:9 for this tutorial and then click on confirm. Now that the trimming and the toolbar is understood, let's move to transition. Without a transition, the video simply cuts directly from one clip to next, which can feel abrupt depending on the context. To add a transition, just go ahead and go to the transition at the top. After clicking on it, a new panel will appear showing you a variety of available transition. Basically, you will see this little blue diamond diamond, they are the one that are only available for the pro users. So you have to purchase a premium version or premium plan to be able to access it. So for this tutorial, let's say I want to add this particular transition. So you can just go ahead and click on it and it will start downloading. And then to add it to your clip, just go ahead and click on it and drag it into your timeline. Just drop it directly into the point in timeline where two clips meet. So in my case, these two clips are meeting at this point. So I'll just drag it and then leave my mouse here. And after that, you can just go ahead and click on OK if prompted. And now let's preview it. When I preview the video now, you will see a transition has been successfully applied. After placing a transition, you can just select it and then it can be adjusted. So after it is selected, look at the top right panel, you will see a duration slider. You can just drag this slider to the left, which will make your transition faster, and dragging it to the right will slow it down. Next, let's look at how to adjust the framing and positioning of clip. Click on the clip in the timeline to select it, and once selected, at the top right panel, you will find a clip control position. Once selected, look at the top right panel and you will find control for the clip's position, scale and rotation. The scale slider lets you zoom into or out of your clip just like so. Once you have changed the scale, you can use the position slider. So basically you can type your position for x-axis and y-axis. So if it feels advanced, you can just go ahead and simply select your video in the timeline that you want to position and then simply select it in the player and then drag it with your mouse just like so, which gives you much better control. And when you drag it towards a center, you will notice a small blue line. A vertical blue line indicates that the clip is centered horizontally, and a horizontal blue line indicates it is centered vertically. These guides make it easy to get precise symmetrical farming without having to guess. So basically you also have rotate panel. You can just use your rotate panel to rotate it to however you're liking. You can use your mouse or you can also type your rotation angle. Now let's look at one of the CapCut's most powerful feature, keyframes. Keyframes allows you to animate any property of a clip over time. To understand keyframe, consider this example. If you want your clip to start at its normal size and then gradually zoom in over the duration of the clip, create a smooth zoom animation, and here is how to do that. So basically just drag your playhead at the beginning of the clip just like so, and once it is in the beginning of the clip, then just go ahead and select your clip. At the top you will see the details panel open. Now find the transform section and then click on the small diamond shape icon, and then clicking that icon creates a keyframe at your current playhead position. Now move your playhead further into the clip to wherever you want to zoom to have finished. So after that, after you are in a preferred position, you can just go ahead and add another keyframe. After that, increase the scale slider to your desired zoom level. As soon as you adjust the scale of your playhead at the new position, a keyframe will be successfully added by CapCut. Now when you drag your playhead back and forth between two keyframes, you will see a smooth zoom animation playing in the player window. Now let's look at adjusting the speed of the clip. Just click on the clip in the timeline to select it, and then at the top you will see a speed option. Just go ahead and click on that and you will see a slider. Dragging the slider right speeds the footage up, and dragging the slider to the left slows it down just like so. You can also use the duration option that appears in the same panel. If your clip needs to be a specific length, you can type that duration directly. So let's say I want this particular clip duration to be exactly 20 seconds. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select all and hit backspace to delete, and then type 20 and then hit enter. And now I'm just gonna zoom out for you to see, and now you will see it is showing 20 seconds. Now let's look at animation. So just go ahead and select a clip, and then at the top go to animation. In animation you will see three categories: in, out, and combo. In animation are effects that play at the beginning when a clip enters a screen. Out animation are effects that play at the end while it finishes. Combo animation combine both entrance and exit effect into a single settings. So let's say I want to add this particular settings as a in animation. I'll just go ahead and select it, and now the in animation will be successfully applied. So now when I play my video, you will see the in animation has been successfully applied. So it goes the same for out animation also. Go to animation, go to out, and then add any out animation, and now you will see it will be successfully applied. Similar to transition, the duration of this animation can be adjusted so you have full control over how quickly or slowly the effect plays. The slider for this is at the bottom. Now let's move to color. Click on a clip in the timeline to select it, and then click on the adjust button at the top. So you can just scroll down and you will see adjust settings. So basically the exposure slider controls the overall brightness of the clip. Dragging it at the right side will make your footage brighter, and then dragging it at the left hand side will make your image darker. And you also have saturation. The saturation slider controls the intensity of the colors in the clip. You also have a temperature slider. Temperature slider adjusts the warmth of the footage. These three sliders alone cover the most fundamental aspect of color correction. Panel also contains a number of additional control which can be used for more detailed color work. To add a color filter on the top of your color correction, click on the filter option at the top left, and then you can simply just click and drag and drop them directly into your clip. So let's say I want to add this particular filter in my clip. I can just click on it to download, and then just left click and drag it directly in top of the clip that you want to add the filter to, and then the filter will be successfully applied automatically. Now let's bring in some audio. Click at the audio tab at the top of the media pool, and this will open the CapCut built-in music library. To preview any track, click on the album artwork and the audio will begin playing. Once you find a track that fits the tone of your video, just go ahead and click on it and drag it just like so, and then you can successfully add it. And now you can see our audio has been successfully added. You can do the same by trimming. So let's say I want to trim this particular part, so I'll just move my playhead in here, or you can also directly click on this particular time to move your playhead automatically. You can just go ahead and choose to delete right, and the audio will be successfully trimmed. So basically you can use this slider to also move in your timeline. Now just go ahead and select your audio track, and in the right hand panel it displays a set of controls. Here you will see fade in and fade out. So basically if you increase the slider for fade in, black marker will be added just like so, which gradually increases the volume at the beginning of the track. And you can also add a fade out which prevents the audio from ending too abruptly. So I'm also going to show you how to add a text. Go to the text at the top and you will see add text. Just go ahead and click on the plus icon and you will see a text box appear. You can just hover over the end and then left click and drag it to adjust the duration of the text. You can just go to the top right and then just go ahead and delete the default text by highlighting and backspace and add any text that you want to add. In my case, let's say I want to add GuideRealm. After adding, you can just go ahead and select your font. So just go ahead and choose any font to your liking. So let's say I want to go with this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and select it, and you will see it will be successfully added. You can also choose to bold it, underline it, or italic it. And here you will also see a text color. You can just go ahead and click on the color and choose any color from the color wheel, or you can also go with this particular options. So let's say I want to go with red. I'm just gonna go ahead and select red, and it will be successfully red. You can just click on the text and move it anywhere to your liking in your video, and you can use this particular buttons to resize it to your liking by just dragging it just like so. And you also have preset. So if you want to apply any preset, you can just go ahead and select it, and it will be successfully applied automatically. And down you also have the option for scale, and you also have an opacity. So if you drag the opacity to the left, it will become less visible, and dragging it all the way to the right makes it more visible. You also have option for stroke background. So just go ahead and play through the settings until you get the option that you like. And you can also go to animation, and you can add in animation and out animation for your text. So let's say I want to add in animation. I'm just gonna select this particular one. Just go ahead and click on it, and it will be successfully added. To add out animation, you can go to out option and then choose any option to your liking. So let's say I want to go with this particular one. I'll just select it, and then the out animation will also be successfully added just like so. And now you can also go to the animations and go to loop, and here you can choose any option to loop. So let's say I want to select wave. I'll just select it, and now the animation will remain there as long as the duration of the text. So now let's talk about exporting a video. Once you are satisfied with everything, it's time to export. Click on the export button in the top right corner corner just like so, and then a tab will appear for export. The export setting panel will now open. Here you have several options to configure. At the top you will see the name of your exported video file. Below that you will see your export location. So to change your export name, just go ahead and delete the pre-existing name and type any name. So I'm just gonna type something like GuideRealm, and you can just click on the folder icon to change your export location. So let's say I want to change it to this particular folder. I'll just select it and choose the select folder. And now you also have a resolution. You can just click on the drop down and choose any resolution to your liking. For most video being published online, 1080p is a solid standard choice. Though if your original footage was recorded in higher quality, you may want to select a higher resolution to preserve that. You also have option for bitrate, which affects the file size and compression quality. We also have codec, which controls the encoding method. You have video format and frame rate. These are more advanced settings, and the defaults CapCut provide are generally appropriate for most use cases. Below that you will find option for audio export. You can toggle audio export to only export audio, but make sure video is toggled off if you only want to export audio. So I'm just going to toggle both of them on, and you also have the option to export as GIF. And basically you can also choose the resolution for GIF, and also for audio format you can click on the drop down and select any format to your liking. And so once you are happy with the settings, you can just go ahead and click on export button at the bottom to begin the rendering process. CapCut will process everything and save the finished file to your location that you specified, and that's it.